Hello, I'm MBX Toycam. Welcome back to QnA Saturday. QnA Saturday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions about a variety of subjects, usually centered around the next big update for Minecraft console. As we all know, the next update is coming out in just 3 days now. That's right, it's next Tuesday. I think that's 3 days, and I'm answering your questions about it for the last QnA Saturday for some time, because obviously when the update comes out, there's not many questions to ask about it, and yeah, all of your questions come in from last week's Q&A. If you want to ask anything next week, which will be in like a month or so, you can leave them in the comments down below. Other than that, I hope you do all enjoy today's video. If you do, like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do like the video and want to see more Q&A Saturdays when they do eventually come back. But with that said, let's get straight into the video with the very first question, which comes in from Global Takeover, who says, #Q&A. I noticed in your battle mode gameplay, TNT automatically lights. Why is that? So this is actually a common thing on Minecraft PC servers, and a few of the features in battle mode actually seem to be like they were inspired from the PC stuff. So yeah, I noticed the TNT automatically lights. Why is that? The reason for this is because of the fact that if you have to charge it yourself, it's going to take way too long to actually detonate. Even now, when it automatically lights itself, it takes like 3 or 4 seconds, and actually hitting someone with TNT is really hard. I've given some tips on how to do it, but even then, most of the time, you're just kind of gaming position dominance. You're not actually, moving them, because if you place it in the center, you can get them away from there, but for the most part, TNT is almost useless even after it automatically lights, and that's the reason why. It would be really hard to use if you had to light it, plus you'd need to find a flint steel or some fire charges, and it'd just be a bit messy if you ask me. With that said, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Excellent Redstone, who says, #Q&A. Now that Minecraft PE has updated and cross-platform has been created, will Xbox cross with PlayStation? So, if you don't know, on the Pocket Edition, now using Realms, you can cross-play between Windows 10, iOS, and Android, which is crazy cool, and it's actually all I do. I play on my iPad for streams, I play on my Android sometimes when I'm doing videos, and it's really cool I can do that all on the same world for Minecraft. So, yeah, will Xbox cross with PlayStation? Honestly, this is the big question here, because the way they've done it on on the Pocket Edition version of the game is they've done it using Xbox Live, and getting PlayStation users to sign up for Xbox Live is going to be one of those big points of contention that I don't know if they'll be able to resolve. So I know Xbox and PE intend to crossplay, but will Xbox and PlayStation work? Maybe. We'll have to see how Sony reacts to using Xbox Live servers on their platform. You'd hope they'd allow it just for Minecraft, just for this one case, but we'll have to see how that does actually go. But yeah, that's the answer to your question. The crossplay thing is going to be really tricky, and it's going to cause some contention, but I imagine they're trying as hard as they can to make sure that all consoles and all Pocket Edition platforms can crossplay together, and that's something I think is really cool personally. But with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from James M, who says, #Q&A. Why do you keep talking about microtransactions and minigames on PC, but most major servers aren't like that? I thought you played Skywars. So when I talk about microtransactions, I'm talking about my major server experience, Mineplex, Hypixel, and there's a few other ones I pick up, but I usually just play the massive servers because it's the most generic experience. And yeah, so he says in Skywars and in minigames, you usually don't get microtransactions. That is actually wrong. Usually it's not quite so in your face in certain ones, but it'll still be like, oh, you can go into Skywars, with just a wooden shovel and a wooden pickaxe, or if you just pay us some money, you can go in there with like a diamond armor, and you can go in there with like an iron sword. And it's like, that seems crazy unfair to me. I don't like the gameplay balance is decided on that. That's why I like console minigames. Instead of saying, oh yeah, it's fine, you don't have to pay, but if you do, you'll have a big advantage. Instead it's, no, you don't pay. Everyone has the same start, and that's why I love the idea of battle mode and the idea of like any minigame coming to console, because if it's done by someone who doesn't have an interest in selling you microtransactions, because a server has to do that to stay alive, I understand that's a fact, then it means that the game should be better, and it should be, there should be some amount of skill that can go into that. Like, you can't ever go competitive Hunger Games on the PC. It just doesn't make sense. It means you either buy stuff and you're unfair advantage, or other people buy stuff and you're unfairly disadvantaged, and that's why I think microtransactions are a bad thing for making a fun and competitive game. So yeah, that's a long rant about it, but I really am passionate about the fact that, yeah, paying for an advantage in any game really sucks, because you either do it and feel bad about yourself, or you don't do it and you get destroyed by people who do. That's not an issue on the console, and if it does become one, I will start rioting in the streets. Don't you worry. But with that said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from that person with the long last name, who says, have you seen the Skyrim Remastered trailer? So I have actually seen it, and it looks pretty good, but this is the one thing that annoys me about that. They're remastering Skyrim, which is, it came out in 2011, but Oblivion, which is 2006, and Morrowind, which is 2001, 2002 maybe, both of those games really need a remaster, but they haven't got them, and it means that they're clearly doing it because it's the most popular game. That's fine, but I'd really love to see Oblivion remastered, or Morrowind remastered, and I'm actually going to be playing the original Morrowind just to show you how much it needs one at some point in the future. Keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, Skyrim Remastered looks cool. I just don't have an interest in playing it, because on the PC you can already have the basically remastered version of the game, and I actually have a copy on the PC that I've just never played. So I think I'll do that at at some point, and it'll be pretty cool. But that's the answer to your question, that person with the long name. Let's move into the next one, which comes in from Garrett McGovern, who says, #Toito. When you played battle mode early, why are they waiting to release it for later when it was okay for you to play earlier? So I figured I would answer this one because, I played the beta version of what was called Arena Mode at the time, and now it's Minecraft Battle Minigame. But yeah, so why they let me play it early when they're waiting to release it? So as you can actually see, even from the trailer, there's been some massive differences between what I played and the actual public version of the game, and presumably what it was is this was a beta. It's fine having 8 people play a beta, but you can't have those bugginess, you can't have those rounded edges be out there. So yeah, why was I playing it? Because they wanted to get the word out, and they used a beta version of the game. It definitely wasn't available for public use, and they have made some changes in the past month that make it a little bit nicer to play, and I really like the look of it so far. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see those differences, but they did have to make them, otherwise battle mode just wouldn't be quite as nice as it will be now when it does release. Again, in 3 days, isn't that exciting? But yeah, with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Sebro MLG, I reckon that is. #QnA. In battle mode, will there be 8 players on a map or more than that? So at launch, there's going to be 8 players for battle mode and any other minigame, because there's only 8 players on console across all the consoles. But the Pocket Edition just got 10-player multiplayer using realms, and I think that's what they're aiming for on the console. I don't know when, and I don't know if it's all consoles or just the new ones. But basically, the reason for that is because if you look at a lot of the trailers, first it was the Spider-Man trailer, the Spider-Man skin pack trailer, and now in the battle mode minigame trailer, there's always 8 people in the game, and then there's one other person spectating, and sometimes one other person in the game. So yeah, in this Spider-Man skin pack it was 10. In this battle mode trailer we had 9 people in one game, and it means that there's a development version of the game out there which allows 10 people of the game. The reason it's not available to us is something I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for cross-player Pocket Edition. I can't tell you for sure, but yeah, more than 8 players is coming at some point soon. I don't know why 10. Maybe it's going all the way to 16 for certain things and 10 for realms. I can't tell you for sure right now, but what I can tell you is that it's coming at some point, just not right now. So with that said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Hype Gaming, who has like triangles next to the word hype. That's some serious hype right there. And they say, #QnA, what PC would you recommend for gaming? By the way, your channel is brilliant, Toycat. So I figured I would actually try and tackle this question, because so many times people tell me like, hey, is this PC good for gaming? It's like a Dell, this, and I'll be like, I don't even know. So I figured I'd give you a really, really quick guide in like a minute or less on how to know if a PC is roughly good for gaming or not. Again, you should know a bit more, but this is a really basic guide. So there's 2 major parts for a PC that determine its gaming performance. There's the CPU, which is kind of like the brain of a PC. It does all the calculations, and there is a GPU. The GPU is the graphics card, or as it's otherwise known, and you pretty much need to have a dedicated one to play decent games. So yeah, for a CPU, if you want to know if it's a good one, then there are 5 categories of CPU from Intel, which is probably where your CPU comes from. There's going to be Celeron, which is the bottom 20%. There's Pentium, which is the next 20%. There's i3, which is the next 20%. There's i5, which is the next 20%, and then the top 20% is i7. So if it's an i3, an i5, or an i7, you are probably going to be good. The number next to that signifies its generation. So 2 means second generation, 3 means third, etc. If you have a 4th, 5th, or 6th of any of those, generations, you should be just about fine. And then, as far as graphic cards go, you'll have like a number at the start and then a number afterwards, followed by like GTX usually if it's Nvidia. And if you have any number above like let's say 7, and then any number above let's say 5, that will be good enough to like play any decent game. The high, if you want a really decent PC, you can splash for like a 1080 or something. If you want something a bit lower end, a 750 Ti is still just about fine, and that is how much you need to know about PCs to have a rough idea of what's good and what's bad. I hope I did a good job explaining, but that is my whole minute up right now, and that's how you know whether a PC is good for gaming or not. So hopefully I taught you a thing or two about Intel's naming system and Nvidia's naming system and how they kind of work together right there, and people who are PC enthusiasts will be like, it's okay, you missed that. I know, I was just trying to be fast. But with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Darren Wallishin, and this is a fast one, because they say, will you ever come to Canada? Yes, I will. There's reasonably cheap flights, like, $200 something each way, from London to Toronto, I believe it is. And I've always been tempted to just go on one and do that whole thing. It's just at some point I will do it. I don't know when that point will be. Maybe it's 2017. Maybe it's the end of this year. Who knows? I guess that's something I get to decide in the future. But I will come to Canada. I do want to see Canada at some point. It sounds awesome and fun. and I just gotta work out when and how to do it. So that's the answer to your question there, Darren Willishin. Let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Christian Larson, who says, will you show us the game files if it holds 1.9/1.10 features? So I have actually looked in the game files somewhat recently. There isn't any here that hint at that yet, but I reckon Battle Mode, because they're currently working on 1.9, will have some hints at 1.9, and if it has 1.10 hints too, that's a sign that the next update will be both 1.9 and 1.10, I think. So yeah, after the next update comes out, after we have the game files, I reckon we'll know whether the next update contains 1.9 or 1.9 or 1.10, which is exciting stuff. Also, I see your comments a lot, Christian Larson. Like, this might be like the third time I've seen one in a Q&A Saturday, plus the Seed Sunday. That's crazy stuff. But yeah, let's move on to the next and final question, which comes in from Acidic Mix, who says, the reason we don't have 16 players is easy. They made the trailer before the next generation consoles come out, and the makers overestimate the power of the consoles, but with the new PS4 Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, they might find a way to have it. So I think they would address this one. First of all, when the trailer came out that said bigger multiplayer, both the Xbox One and the PS4 were out, and the development kits had been out for like a year before that. They knew the power, and they clearly can do it. They're just holding back on us for some bizarre reason. Maybe it's network, maybe it's this, it's that, who can say for sure. But whether the PS4 Neo and the Xbox One Scorpio might be a really cool thing. I think there is a chance that there'll be an opportunity to make crazy high-end versions of Minecraft, but Minecraft on the Xbox One, the PS4, they're already running as well as they can do. The only reason they don't have infinite worlds is like a save size limitation, and as far as like, going on the Scorpio or whatever, fixing that, as it's a matter of storage size more than anything else. So yeah, 16 player or 10 player or how many players should be coming at some point. The reason has never been clarified. I'm gonna have to like ask them directly whenever I'm next in an event where they are, because I want to know the answer to that, and there's got to be an official one somewhere, maybe potentially. But yeah, the answer to your question for now is will the Xbox One Scorpio and the PS4 Neo be the solution? I think the solution is possible on the One, the PS4, and maybe even possible on the last gen if they put realms there. I don't know. I just want to see bigger multiplayer, and I think it will be happening at some point. But when some point is the big question we have to answer. But yeah, for today, I hope you did all enjoy Q&A Saturday. If you did, like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like this whole answering your question thing. Again, this will be going away for some time, because honestly, when an update just comes out, there's not much need for Q&A Saturday. I might bring it back as like just a random / personal questions only, but we'll have to see exactly what happens between now and then, I guess. But yeah, next Tuesday there's gonna be a bunch of battle mode streaming content, videos and stuff, and next week really you can, if you just stay tuned to the channel, you'll see a whole bunch of new stuff, and I'm looking forward to sharing that all with you. So thank you all very much for watching the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!